So this one is basically about using empirical formulas to find molecular formulas. We defined this too back in chapter 8. We said a molecular formula, remember, was like a multiple of the empirical formula. So I've restated it here again. I mean, basically it's the formula of a molecule. So isn't that fancy? So it's just a multiple of the empirical formula sometimes. It says here that it can be the same, and we did this, so this should be review for us. So for example, CH2O is an empirical formula, and it's also a molecular formula. C2H4O2 is a multiple of this. What do you multiply by to get this one? 2. Okay, here's another multiple of it, C6H12O6, your good old friend glucose from biology class. What did that one multiply the empirical formula by? 6. Okay, what we can do is we can find a molecular formula if given the proper information, okay? Okay, it says right here, I put some things in writing for you. It says that you must know the compound's molar mass to find the molecular formula from the empirical formula. Empirical formula mass is a word that we're going to use. It's the mass of the empirical formula. So let's just kind of take this into action right here. It says if the empirical formula of a compound is CH2O and the molecular formula mass is 116, what is the molecular formula? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to compare the empirical formula to the molecular formula. Okay, I'm going to compare the masses. How do I find the mass of this? It's just like we've been doing all the molar masses. What do? Add it up. What's the mass of a carbon? 12. What's the mass of 2 hydrogens?
2.
So that's 14.
16.
Plus 16. What's 14 plus 16? So the empirical formula mass is 30 grams. It's telling me that the molecular formula mass is 116. Okay, so what I do is I figure out how many times I need to multiply. Because what it says right here is that the molecular formula has to be a multiple of the empirical formula. So what is the factor that will make it go from 30 to 116? .8, and I kind of even wonder if I did the example correctly. It should come out easier than that. I did. I messed it up right here. I'm looking back at my past examples. I mean this to be a 1. So what that'll knock that down to is 29. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It should work out even better than close. Now do it. What's 116 divided by 29?
4.
And an even 4. Okay. So I did. I botched this right here, so this needs to be changed. Okay, so that's a difference of 4. So I have to multiply by 4 to get that. So, alright, what I do is I take my empirical formula, which is this, and I multiply everything by 4, the subscripts. So C will become what? C4. H will become H4, and O will become O4. Well, that's not that bad.
That's simple.
It is, but I'm telling you, in another 2 chapters from now, we won't have practiced this anymore. You know, like, it's kind of one and done. This is the only time I'm going to calculate empirical formulas from percent comp, and it's the only time that I'm going to calculate molecular formulas from empirical formulas. So we're not going back here again. And in 2 chapters' time, you're going to be lost if you don't ever revisit this. This might make a really good bell ringer question over the course of the next 2 chapters. Okay? Let's try one more together. A compound with an empirical formula of NaClO4 has a molecular mass of 122.4. So it wants me to find the molecular formula. So again, I need to compare empirical versus molecular formula. What's the mass of this thing? Add it up. What's the mass of a sodium?
129 sodium.
Sodium is 23. Okay, what's the mass of a chlorine?
35.5.
35.5. And then 4 oxygens would be 54. No, 64. Right. So it's 122.5. Okay, well, it's telling me that this one's 122.44. What do y'all think I should do?
I think that is the molecular.
I've told you what you need to do is to figure out what multiple gets me here. What do I need to multiply from here to get there? This times what equals that? 1. So, hey, what is my molecular formula?
It's the same exact thing.
It is the same exact thing, and that's totally possible. It is the same exact thing. Okay, you have 2 more. You have 2 more that you can do in class, so go ahead and knock yourself out. You probably already got them done.